Hi everyone! I'm so excited to come to you with my first episode of the year with my oldest best friend that I've known since I was literally about 3 years old. Kat. I wanted to say Kat Lay. She's not Kat Lay, she's Kat
I
Martin.
was always cat like. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we always used to say it, didn't we? Best friends from the very start. So
And
here we
actually,
are.
so grateful for your friendship. Like, we have literally been with each other through like all of life's challenges.
Yeah.
And although Kat's like 1 year above me, I basically followed her around as well. Like, I followed her to secondary school in
Yeah.
Southend, and then I followed her again to our Plume College where we went, and we just had the best time, like
We
wherever
did.
we went.
Oh, it was so good. And same to you. I just feel like you have always been such a loyal. You've always been there. You're always that one friend that's just always been there. So special to me. So I'm so grateful for you.
Yes, it's so amazing having these friendships. Today, I'm so excited to dive into manifesting your dream job and your dream house as well, and
Yes.
how
Yeah.
you got there. And there has been a bit of a process, but I feel like a lot of it is doing things like the different way and like doing things
Yeah.
differently to like the norm or what we're taught to do as well. So I know everyone's going to want to hear how you done
I mean, yeah. So, well, I think like, oh, I mean, I've always had like, I wanted to do law originally, which is, but law can be quite hard to get into. Like, all those kind of things. There's such a long route to get into those, and they're highly competitive. So I thought about. I was actually my mum said about HR. I thought, oh, do you know what? That's quite a like happy. That's kind of business, but employment law. So I then went to study HR, which was quite like an unusual course. Most people do like more broad business courses. It was a very small like cohort of people doing this degree. But yeah, I did that the whole way through, and then was really lucky at the time. I was able to do some. I was working in a small manufacturing company locally. They needed someone to help with some HR bits. They don't have enough. Most really small firms don't have enough work to have a full-time person. They were allowing me to do bits, so I was able to get a bit of experience as I was learning on the go, and that really just set me off. Then I was able to then secure another role. Um,
And I
but
love this piece as well around like following your intuition and where you're led, even when you don't probably even know at the time that it's your
yeah,
intuition. But like when things are working out for you, you're like, oh, like this is for a reason. I'm on the right track. And I want to take
yeah,
it back a little step as well, because I think this is interesting to note because so many people can see someone in like a, their dream job, successful role and be like, oh wow, like that all just worked out and it is easy for them to get there. But I remember even you getting into uni was like it was a big deal because you didn't do that well, and like was it your, or was it getting into, I can't remember, there was a
yeah,
school thing and you had to go and ask and they let you in, but it was kind of
yes.
because of a conversation you had.
Yeah, it was. So I remember I was predicted all an A's and A stars at secondary school. So at grammar school, I wasn't stupid, but I just couldn't be asked. It was the wrong time for me to be at school. So yeah, I think I got no A's in the end. So that was really worth the travel down to Southend for 5 years.
We used to
And
get a bus an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back every day to go to our
to be
school.
fair, I'd do it all again for that bus journey though because it was carnage and I loved it. So.
Same.
Yeah. So yeah. So and then A levels. I think I tried a little bit harder in A levels, but then like I didn't see the results, and I was like, okay. So that was a bit frustrating. So yeah, I think like when I got to when I went to Anglo Ruskin, I did. I remember I had a meeting, and they let me in because I didn't have enough points to get in. Um, but I felt like when I got to uni, I had like a real point to prove, and I don't know what it was, but something switched in me, and I was like, I just did it, and then I ended up with a first, which you would never have thought someone with the GCSEs and A levels that I got would be capable of. But I knew I had it in me. It was a wrong time for me to be in education. I just couldn't be asked. So yeah, it wasn't always easy, and I remember when I was looking at law degrees before. I was looking in Manchester and I was going to have to do a foundation year first just to even get in. So it wasn't so smooth sailing, like you said. Um, but yeah, just even going back to like that first role, I was lucky enough to get some experience. But even the next role I got, I initially got rejected, and then they called me back 6 weeks later because obviously someone else didn't work out. But then I was able to get into Stansted Airport after that. So even that wasn't, straight
And I
away
love,
got the job.
yeah, and I love that. It's like if you're meant to have it, you'll get it. And even if originally you don't, like if that role was for you, who
Yeah,
knows if they can get in touch with you.
yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
love that. And I know you've done like a number of different HR roles and like you've always done a really amazing job. There's definitely been highs and lows with like some roles. I remember you were like crying every day and you were like, I don't
yeah,
want to be here. And a lot of the time that's the culture rather than anything else
yeah,
in each place.
yeah.
But then I remember you've got yourself, you were like, I want to be in HR, but I don't want to be doing like the HR
Employee
specific
relations.
role that
Yeah,
I'm doing right now, which is basically like, a lot of the less fun work of like, telling people they don't have a job anymore.
yeah, exactly. And I think I was so lucky at the start of my career where it was setting up HR. So like the small company was setting up HR. I went to a startup, and still to this day, that startup is my most favourite job, and I absolutely loved it. We had to like recruit like 100 people in a year, and it was like new policies. Everyone was new. Everyone was in it together, and I honestly, to this day, like I remember feeling like, like when you look back, once you're like working, you're like, why did I hate school? Like all I had to do was like turn up and just like learn. Like it was just so easy. Like I remember when I was in the startup, that's like how I felt. I was like, this is like being in school. I'm just like turning up and I'm just learning every day. Like it was just so much fun. And like you said, it is the people and the culture that make it 100% as well.
And that's what it
Then
should
there's
feel like when for you to do a job, it's like you can do something you love. And I know this is
yeah,
something that we really have to
yeah, we
shift for
talked about
you.
it as well. Yeah,
And I think it's something
yeah,
that a lot of people struggle with is like we actually sometimes put like success with hard work, which yes, things can be hard work, but
yeah,
also we don't have to hate our job. And sometimes we think,
yeah,
oh, to be doing a really good job, I must be like really burnt out and like busy 24/7. And if that's
yeah.
our belief, that's what we're going to have.
Yeah, 100%. I think like after that role, I ended up at Groupon, and to be fair, I absolutely loved Groupon to this day. But there were parts of the role that I like were those days where I was literally like crying my eyes out, like making loads of people redundant, and it was just horrible. And the problem was it was then another round, and like I was just tearing myself apart because like I never wanted to be in a role where it was so like emotionally consuming. Like it was just awful. I hated it. I just swore to myself, I was like, I'm never going to do this again. Um, Unfortunately, like it is sometimes part of a HR's job. But I think I've just like had my fair share of like jobs that have had more than the average of doing those kind of processes. And yeah, I swear I just like tried to get out of these roles, but they just find me.
And that's the thing is because you're good at them, you get
Yeah,
approached for things because you're good
yeah,
at it. They
yeah,
want you there, like which is
yeah,
amazing. But at the same time, it's coming back to what do I actually want? And I feel like this is
yeah,
what happened when you joined a few of my programs. So you joined Balance, and that was coming back to like how can I focus on like me, like
yeah,
myself, and then it was explore your purpose where I felt like the magic really happened,
yeah,
where we were like, what would you actually love to do? Like, what job is it that you would absolutely love?
yeah,
And you were like, I know what I would love. Like, I want to be in the HR space, but like, I want to be doing, more of like the proactive stuff and like
yeah,
employee engagement.
yeah,
And like also learning like what am I good at? And like just because I'm good at the other stuff that I don't particularly like doesn't mean I have to do it, but also
yeah,
like there's so many other skills and strengths that I'm maybe not using right now that I could use and want to use.
yeah. I definitely had like two. I'm trying to think of the words that we used to use actually. Limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite topic.
Yeah, so one of them was definitely I felt like well, one of them was like because I was like good at something and I like built this career and like people like I was always getting praised for something like I needed to stay in it like because that's what I've always done. So there was that, and then the other limiting belief, which was like what you spoke about just now as well, was that like, how can I do something that like seems more enjoyable and like it still be a career? That can't be, it can't be right. It can't be like, I can't be enjoying every day and be like earning good money. That just doesn't go hand in hand. So I just like have this like thing in my head that like, well no, because like, it needs to be hard or it's not gonna work. Everything else is not gonna come with it, but it doesn't. And it is just like switching that, like what you've always been programmed to think that it needs to be, that you need to stay long hours, that you can't possibly like leave on time and think you're going to have a career. Like it's just all those little things that we've like been programmed.
Definitely, we have these beliefs. Like some of them, I think, is internal pressure that we give on ourselves. Like I must do this, or this might happen, or they may think this. And then some of it is external pressure as well. Sometimes like the companies that we're in are like, you have to do this, or if you do go home at 5 p.m, they're like telling you off. So that's like why these beliefs have been reinforced. But then we get to decide like, this belief is not serving me, and actually I can believe something else. And once you do start believing your new belief that you want, you want to believe, that's when it starts becoming your reality as well.
Yeah.
And what was the first point that you said? The first belief
about because I've always done it, because I've
always
been
done
good at it.
Yes. I love that as well, because so many people have this. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. If you've spent so much time doing something, you then don't want to stop doing it, because you're like, oh, I've put so much like time and effort into this, and I've like really worked my way up, and I've like spent so hard getting here, that it can be really amazing then to stop. But ultimately, like, you can have a career that you love, so like, why keep going doing something that you don't like if like you could shift it? And also, all of the skills and all the experience that you've already had in the past is valid and it's useful, and that can support you in your future career now, even if it's not going to be the same thing. And I think that's something that, people need to hear. And people do it in relationships too. They're like, oh, I've been in this relationship for like 10 years and now I don't want to leave because I'm going to have to start all over again. But it's like, but what if it's going to be worth starting over again? What if like the next, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years are going to be so much better because I've let this thing go that I've been doing for 10 years?
Yeah, and how happy would you be in 5 years if you look back and said, oh, thank goodness I like really persevered and switched then, because I'm so happy now. Whereas you'd be so annoyed at yourself in 5 years if you like look back and go, well, I could have moved then, and actually 10 years in wouldn't have been as bad as 15 that I'm now. So, yeah.
Exactly. Time's going to go past anyway. So it's like you may as well work towards what you want.
Yeah,
and yeah, like I think that with me, like if I'd have never quit my full-time job or like, studied to become a holistic health life coach, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I also know that in like another 5 years time, I'm going to be so grateful for the version of me doing this now and like taking all the steps.
And it's so funny because like now, like people around you must look at you and just think, of course you're in this role. Like this is like exactly what you're meant to be doing. Like you're just perfect for this. So yeah, 100%.
And that's how I feel.
I've forgotten about your meeting you in London and going to Dirty Digs or whatever you used to pick up to go.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't imagine. I know that this is like my purpose, and this is, why I created the Explore Your Purpose course in the first place. Is like I found mine and I was like, wow, everyone needs to know this, because I've been in unfulfilling roles and, they all served a purpose. I didn't mind working in recruitment, I had that kind of connection with people. I was like mentoring the graduates and the interns. I was mentoring my hiring managers and basically making the role my own. But I was like, I also want that freedom aspect, and I'm not like, I could only help people to a degree, but I was like, I know that I really want to help people like improve their lives. And when I really looked into, what my strengths were, what my values are, looking back on like my timeline of like everything that I've been interested in the past, everything that I've experienced, and then, like what my unique design is, like my numerology, like human design, astrology, which may all sound wild to you if you've never heard it before, but I can imagine most people have heard about this on the call. Everything was confirming the same stuff, that like what I'm doing now is my purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's what like lights me up, and ultimately that's what I want everyone else to be able to find.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if we're feeling, you know, unhappy, it has like such ripple effects, and ultimately there is something out there for everyone. And it might be something that you don't even know about too, you know, like I didn't know this job existed when I was at school. No one says, oh, do you want to be a coach when you're older?
No.
They're like, there's just like the normal things, and sometimes what you want is out the box. I didn't even know about it until, you know, like I hired a coach, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I could do that.
Yeah, 100%. And like it's even like looking at those, even your time in recruitment, there's those stepping stones. Even if it was like
100%.
confirmation, this is not what I want, then it was still worth doing to.
And I've got some full circle moments as well from like people who mentored me when I was in recruitment, then reach out to me to ask for advice because they want to start doing something more aligned with them and start their own business. And just like the connections you build. And at the end of the day, that job got me my visa to stay in New Zealand. So
exactly.
Sometimes the purpose is not even to do with like career. It could be like you meet your best friend in like an organization as well. And then, you know, it was worth it for that.
Yeah.
But I love that then after this, you started doing roles that were more aligned with what you really wanted. So basically, whilst we were doing the program, you applied for a job within your current organization, but doing something like that was more aligned with you.
It was, yeah. It was as I was going back from mat leave, because I was doing the course as I was on maternity leave. And I remember just like this dread of like having to go back to my old role. And there was 2 roles that were live, and I just thought, old me would never have done anything because I'd have thought I'm just not right for that role. I've not got enough experience. But I was just like, I've got nothing to lose. So I literally emailed them, and I managed to get one that I absolutely loved. And it was managing a team in India. It was like HR operations. It was like away from the stuff that I'd been doing before. Like I was just enjoying every day, which, yeah, I know that even like my old self would never have had the confidence to have done that and just thought that it was possible. I think it's just that like that fear that it's not possible holds you back.
It does. And sometimes you just need that nudge to be like, go for it. Because at the end of the day, you lose every shot that you don't take. And it doesn't matter if you fail. Actually, the people who fail the most also like win the most too, because, you know, the more you try, ultimately, the more you are going to progress. And we learn so much from failure.
You do. And like even Andy said to me, well, the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all. And staying where you are. And I was like, yeah, okay, right.
And I feel like ultimately, if it's meant for you, you're going to get it anyway. And like, we have that inner knowing of like, there's something else for me. So why not act on it?
And sometimes like there is like those opportunities do come up. Like whether it's the Stansted Airport, someone dropped out and then I got the chance, or like even with this role, they weren't really getting maybe they weren't getting enough candidates, and actually it just worked out. Like, but I would never have known if I hadn't put myself forward. So
definitely. And I think even having those beliefs of like, it's possible for me and anything can happen, you know, like stranger things could happen. And I love this, like opening up the possibilities to like, even if you didn't get your dream job, oh, well, what if like I actually find a better one? Maybe that wasn't my dream. Like maybe there's actually something even better out there. Maybe they're actually going to come back to me in a few weeks. Like maybe I'm going to decide to move the other side of the world. That was never part of my plan, but like sometimes there's a better plan in store. And if I'd have got the graduate program that I'd applied for in like 2015, 2016, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm so grateful that I never got what I thought I wanted at the time.
It's crazy, isn't it? I still remember your leaving thinking, it's just going to be gone for like half a year or something.
Almost 10 years later. It is. Sometimes the universe has got a different plan in store, and it's better than one that we can like logically or like consciously think up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I want to talk about your new role that you've literally just started.
Yeah. So
and
history repeated itself, and I was getting dragged back into the stuff that I was doing that I hated doing because I was good at it.
And I want to mention about that here as well, is that sometimes we can start repeating patterns if we haven't like, you know, we can shift our beliefs, we can like make changes, and that's amazing. But if we're not like really anchored into this like new identity of like who we are, and like haven't healed the stuff that lets us like slide back into the stuff, sometimes we do slide back in, and we're normal and human, and that happens to us all. Multiple people often experience it in relationships too. So it is like getting over that pattern and deciding like, I'm not doing this anymore. which I know
I
is
do
you
need
now.
to get better at that because I'm really bad at saying no. So I've got better at saying going for things, but I'm still not very good at saying no to things that I don't want. So I
You're
need to get
getting better
better at
at
that.
saying no.
I'm
Yeah, you
getting
are.
better. Yeah. So yeah, history repeats itself. Getting dragged back into the bits I don't like, but at the end of the day, I felt pretty unappreciated after all that. There's been lots of changes, so in the end, I had the confidence to say, nah, not for me, and I'm out of here without a job. So that was an exciting few weeks, but it was the right thing because I needed the headspace. It was a bit of a risk, to be honest,
You've got
but
to take risks sometimes.
it was a risk, but it was the right thing. And yeah, I ended up finding a job 5 minutes down the road from me, 3.5 days a week, because that was the other thing. It's difficult to get more flexible jobs. 3.5 days a week, and it's
That's a
basically
belief. Although I know it's reality for people, but the belief is it's difficult to get the job, and then we think, oh, there's none out there. Whereas if
Yeah,
it's like,
no, you're right.
maybe
And
it
there
is
are
difficult.
more out there. There are actually more out there because I definitely
Yeah.
see more advertised. This one was actually advertised saying happy to take on someone part time, which is amazing.
Part-time. And even having that, even if it is hard, because like sometimes, you know, that is the reality, is like maybe there's not that many advertised, it's having the belief that even if it's hard, there's going to be one role where that are happy to do part-time for me. Like my dream role is going to be, and I can be the minority as well.
And it's true because, like, I know, like, I've been in HR as well. Like, sometimes people don't even need full time, so like they actually do want the part time. So there are definitely like roles out there that are just not full time.
Yeah, and it can be good for them as well. You know, if they only need someone part time, if it's
Exactly.
you know for whatever they need, then that's best for the organisation as well. So having that belief,
100%.
what's best for me and is best for someone else, or basically, I can have a situation that's good for us all.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So, yeah, so 3.5 days, HR, setting up HR, which I've done a few times now. That is the part of HR that I love. So it's like full scale, like setting up, hiring loads of people, systems, policies, all the fun stuff. So, yeah, so really pleased with how it's worked out. So, yeah,
Yes,
had to believe.
I'm so happy for you. And it's like you shared at the start, coming back to doing the role that like gets you excited, where you're like, oh, I'm learning. Obviously you're doing stuff that you've done before, but it's like I also know from experience, this is what I love. This is what I've loved in all of my previous roles, and this is what I can do now.
100%. Yeah. So, yeah, so here I am. Happy again.
Love it. And it's having that work-life balance as well, you know? You've got a family now, like you don't want to be working like all of the time. You don't want to spend time outside of work like worrying about work or anything like that either, because that is such a big energy drain.
It is the energy drain, and like it's so all-consuming, and like life is like, I know everyone says it, but like you do spend so much time at work, like you don't want to hate it, and I certainly don't want to be thinking about it 24/7 and not sleeping, and it ruining time outside of work as well, especially now I've got a little one. So yeah, 100%. It's doing the course definitely like switched my thinking. Like I had to like, I remember it was like this one session I was like, oh, a job doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't need to take work to be like having a career. No, I don't. Do I? Like it's just like, I don't know. You just like, if you've always thought that way, you just don't think any differently. And sometimes it is just that someone like reframed that for you. So
I'm so happy that I could do it for you. Yeah, because a lot of the time it is what comes naturally to us that we don't think it's hard because like it's easy for us, but it's not easy for everyone. And I think that's something that we forget. And this can be like natural things that you do. Like for me, I know like it's my personality, like I'm a listener, I'm good at responding to people, but also like you'll learn things too. Like you've been in HR for so long, you've learned so much that things that might take people ages to do when they're learning, like you just know it off the top of your head, or like, you know, so why not, you know, do something that is easy to you.
Yeah, and it's so true.
We don't have to climb the ladder either. I think that's a belief that people have, is like, obviously, most people do want more money, and that's probably why people do climb the ladder more than, you know, success, but a lot of the time we are pushed and nudged to be like, what about the next step? What about the next step? And it's deciding like, do I actually want the next step? You know, or am I actually happy where I am? Like, because maybe I want to challenge myself in different ways. Maybe it's outside of work. I'm going to like, you know, and maybe I'm going to have a fitness goal, or like, you know, learn an instrument, or like do something for fun, or a bit of a side hustle. And it's like, what's actually going to bring me a challenge doesn't always have to be like in the workplace.
100%, and it's so true, because Andy's got me this book for this year, and it's I'll have to send it to you, because it's like the woman leader or something like that, and like you work your way through, and like you set goals for the year, and it's like, what are the things like that you don't like about yourself, like what do you want to change, like what goals are you going to set yourself. And actually it was really interesting, because out of 5 goals for the year, only 1 is career focused this time, like the rest are like outside of my career now. So yeah, it's so true, it doesn't all need to be all about the career, but at the same time, like, I definitely would not want to have a career, because it like I like my brain being used like in that way, like I like going to work, I like working, it's just wanting to enjoy like work when I'm there. So
Definitely. And I love that only one of your goals are career goals. And I think having this like holistic approach to life, and actually like, you know, progressing in different areas of our life, or like having fun in different areas of our life, is so important. I do want to talk about your house as well, because I feel like this was, again, something unexpected that happened, where you've been living in this house for a few years and you decided, I don't want to live there anymore. It was a house that you had bought. And then you had like followed your intuition to basically rent in an area that you'd not thought about living in, and didn't really have a plan. You were like, you know, we want to buy a house at some point, but I've just got this nudge to like move out. And I think, you know, again, we can like feel pressured from other people or whatnot to do certain things, but you were just listening to like, this is what feels right for me, and we'll just see what happens. And then a house came up in that area that you had moved to buy, that you're living in now, because it was exactly where you wanted. But it was one of those things, if you'd have never moved into the rental in the first place, you would have never known how much you love to live in that area, and you would have never like looked around this house.
Honestly, it's so crazy, because I was thinking about moving for a while. Like, we've renovated a house over the space of like 5 years, and I just knew in my heart of hearts it wasn't like the forever. And we've done all these plans to get it extended and everything. It's all approved. Like talking about doing it like in March last year, and then Andy suddenly was like, "Oh, look at these houses!" Like, and then we suddenly decided he wanted to move, and it was like, "Well, if he wants to go, I'm definitely going to go. So let's just go for it." So we put it up for sale really quickly, and we just thought, well, let's just see what happens, because if we don't get the offer we want, then maybe we'll stay. If we do, then we know that we should move, and actually it's the right thing to move, because the extension was going to cost a lot. And we had 2 offers in the end, above what we thought. So it was like, all right, fine, we're moving. And then, like, we just heard some horror stories about chains, and, like, it can be so stressful. So we made the unusual decision to move into a rental. I mean, we were still looking for a house. If it worked out, it worked out. But we were not going to get pressured into buying the wrong house. We knew what we wanted, and we didn't want to rush. We knew the next house we wanted it to be the forever. So yeah, we hadn't found anywhere, so we ended up 2 weeks before we moved out securing a rental. And honestly, I was on holiday and I was like ringing around, because we've got 2 cats and we couldn't leave the cats, and we need like parking spaces. So I'm like ringing around like all these flats. I'm like, do you take cats? No. Do you take cats? No. Do you take cats? Yes. Have you got parking? No. So then there was this one I like phoned, and it was like a new bit. It was near Andy's work, so we were like, right, well, if they haven't got parking, like perhaps we can park at Andy's work. But like, we're getting desperate now. Phoned up, I was like, do you take cats? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, oh my god, you got parking? No. I was like, okay, like maybe we can make this work. But he was like, the person that owns the flat has got another flat in another area, and I was like, okay. He's like, it's been on a while, like it's quite big, but they'll take cats. And I was like, so it's ground floor, it's like 3 bedrooms. Like, it's quite unusual to have like a 3-bed flat. I was like, oh, I think I might have seen that one. Like, it seems like quite expensive, but okay, let's just see. Anyway, because it'd been on a while, they allowed us to do 6 months, which is great, because we were thinking we were going to be tied in for a year. So we're looking at like some like quite run down places because we're thinking like we're gonna have to pay for like 2 places at once. We can't be like stretching ourselves like crazy money. So like they agreed to 6 months, so it was more expensive. So it was like nicer to live in, but we knew we could get out by the time we found somewhere else. So that worked out, and then literally we'd been in that flat. We moved in on the weekend. Yeah, we moved in on the weekend. I think on the Wednesday we were like kind of like this area because we've been like going to the pubs and walking around. It's like real villagey feel, but it had pubs. It had a couple of restaurants. It had a pharmacy, like everything you needed. So it was like that village life, which obviously you mean you grew up in a village. Like we could really appreciate village life.
I used to be able to see Kat's bedroom window from my house.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be able to hear when the party had started at Ellen's house. I was like, right, it's time to go. Everyone's there. I can hear it.
Love it. I did used to love a good party.
Oh, we did. Both of us, to be fair. I mean, mine were unorganised when the parents were away. Occasionally get kicked out of those.
And mine were big parties. My dad was there, like life and soul of the party. And it's so funny, like, as I've always been a party person, like bringing everyone together, and now I'm still doing it, but it's like alcohol free. We're going to do some like holistic stuff instead. Times have changed, but I still love it.
Yeah. We can still look back on those and think they were wild and we love them.
Yeah. Love the tangent we went on.
100%, yeah. Village life. Always fun memories of that. But yeah, no, we were just like, oh, we actually really like it here. So we started looking in Whittle. And literally this house had been on the market for like 9 months. And it was out of our price range. But I was like, let's just go and have a look at it. Like, we're just getting really excited about living here. So yeah, we went to have a look at it. It needed a load of work doing. But because we'd done a renovation and we were totally naive on the previous renovation about how much needed doing, I remember thinking it was going to be done in 6 weeks. Yeah, 2 years later, we're still doing things. And like 6 months before we put it on the market, we're like finishing the stuff off. So we were totally naive on that one. But we were looking at this other one thinking, this is nothing compared to the last one. It's probably putting everyone else up. But we were thinking, this is nothing.
Easy.
Like, we can do this. Like, this is easy. So yeah, we went to see it and we were like, we've totally fallen in love with this old home. So like ringing like Annie's friend who's a mortgage advisor, like we're just like desperately trying to like pull together and like everything we have ever got, and we just had to offer the max that we could do, and it was like well under. But because we were chain free, and we knew we could sell quickly, they accepted the offer. We got the dream house. Like honestly, we just never would have got it if we were like in a chain. Never would have got it if we hadn't moved to the area into this rental. And then it worked out with us only being like in that rental for 6 months anyway. We had like a couple of months overlap so we could do the work, and then we were in.
So good.
Honestly,
like it all works out.
Aligned. Yeah, it was crazy. And we actually, this is so mad as well, our mortgage term on our last house was 5 years. And you can get out in that last month without having to pay anything. But we actually moved out and finalised on exactly the same day that we moved in 5 years before. It was so weird. It was exactly the same day that we completed.
So honestly. Weird.
Yeah.
And I remember when you showed me around your house. So when I was in England last summer, you showed me before you'd moved in. And we sat in the back garden. We were pulling some oracle cards. And your card that you pulled said safe space. And like a move to a new place is going to be like good or something like that, which was, I remember me and you just sat there like staring at each other.
This is so weird. This is so weird. I feel like we've had a few of them with the cards though. I feel like so often it just aligns and I'm like, oh my God.
The cards are always right.
They're always right. They're always right.
Love it. And I think we need to share these positive stories because I think people can get so stressed about stuff like jobs and like moving a house. And it's not to say that there's not going to be any stress in it, but it's like even having that mindset, like it's going to work out for me, or like if it's supposed to happen, it's going to work out for me. And, you know, hearing the stories of other people, like they listened to their intuition and it worked out for them. And also, you know, you are like offered under what the price was and you still got it as well. Yeah. Because sometimes we're like, can have that belief, oh, if I'd you know, they're never going to accept it at this amount. Well, you don't know until you ask.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, it's it's crazy how things work out. It really is. So yeah.
Well, I'm buzzing that 2026 is starting for you in your new house and in your new job. And it's going to be an amazing year. 100%. Before we finish up this episode, obviously I want to give the listeners a little bit of juice on me, considering you've known me since, you know, we were very, very young. What do you want to tell them? Can be anything, but also, what do you love about me?
Oh, what do I love about you? You are so loyal. I know I could absolutely trust you with my life, like absolutely 100%. I think you are an amazing friend. You empower other people. You get happiness from seeing other people happy, and that is the best thing about you. And your smile, obviously, like something rude. So yeah, honestly, I don't know. We've just gone back such a long time. Like you're always going to be in my life, and I love that. So yeah, you're just the best as a friend.
Me too. Me and Kat always laugh so much when we're together as well. Like my mum would always be like, "Oh, I know when Kat's here because you just don't stop laughing." And do you know what? This one memory is coming into my head that I feel like I have to share. But I remember one time we used to go to Prezzo all the time. Always. Every time we were catching up, it was Prezzo. And I remember I'd got these vouchers for Prezzo because you could get those Tesco vouchers or whatever, and basically the meal had come to, I can't remember how much it was, but we'd use the Prezzo voucher and then there was £2 extra or something and you'd paid the £2. And I remember coming home and you being like, yeah, you're welcome for dinner.
I paid for dinner.
You could get it next time. But we just laugh at the silliest things all the time. And I remember being in your bedroom when we were probably I don't even know how old, teenager, but early teenager, on Facebook I'd be messaging happy birthday on people's accounts that wasn't their birthday. Yeah. And then we'd be there taking all the selfies in the bedroom and and then as we got older going out clubbing and doing all our fake tan and everything. I remember being in the taxi on the way to a club in London when Andy was DJing as well, and you couldn't find your eyelash. And it was just
a disaster.
I feel like we're going to have to do a episode round 2 maybe later on this year, because I feel like we've got so many other things I'd love to talk about. But
I agree. I think we could definitely go way back and think about some of the things that we've got up to in the past. I think that could be a fun one.
Definitely could be a fun one. As well as I'd love to have you on to talk about polycystic ovaries too, because I feel like that's something a lot of women and a lot of my clients have struggled with. So TBC on the next episode.
Yeah, I would love to. It's just something obviously for next time, but I just got so into it, and there's it's so under researched, so we get so much information that's just wrong. And I am no expert now, but I definitely could share some of the places that I went to for more holistic and advice. So yeah, definitely, I'd love to do that.
Amazing. And for anyone listening who is I want a new career, or even if you're just I just want to know who I am or understand more about me and get rid of some of my limiting beliefs so that I can figure out what I want to do and just enjoy life more now, Explore Your Purpose is a self-paced program. So you can have immediate access to it, go through all the modules in your own time. It also comes with a journal booklet for you to do and all of these fun quizzes for you to dive into. So yeah, there's 10 kind of mini modules in total, and I'll put the link below for anyone that wants to join.
Yeah, and I definitely would I'm an advocate for the course, because all the little sessions that we did, every single one of those I was coming out I could think of things that way. Oh, I didn't know that about myself. So it was so good for me, and I'm a walking advert. Hopefully, I'm much happier in my job, and I've done 2 things I never thought I would do in my career. So yeah, thank you.
Love it. And that's one of the main things that people get out of it as well, is just having the confidence to go for what you really want and ask for what you really want as well. So amazing. Hope everyone has a lovely rest of your day, and I'll be back soon. Mwah!
Thank you. Bye.